I'm a 26-year-old woman, and for as long as I can remember, my life has been shaped and controlled by my mother. My father walked out when I was little, and ever since then, she clung to me like I was the only anchor she had left. At first, I thought it was just a protective single mom doing her best. But over the years, I started to notice patterns that went beyond normal parenting. When I was a kid, anytime I brought friends over, things always went sour. They'd come over once, maybe twice, and then suddenly stop talking to me. They would say things like my mom gave them a strange feeling, or that she was too intense. I brushed it off for years, thinking maybe they just weren't real friends. But it happened with almost every single person I tried to get close to. High school was the same. Whenever I started dating, it never lasted long. Boys would break up with me for vague reasons, or sometimes they'd directly mention how my mom made them uncomfortable. A few even said she called them or pulled them aside to talk. I never knew what she told them, but it was always enough to make them back off. I tried to convince myself that this was normal, that maybe every mom acted like this behind the scenes, but something always felt off. My mom had this phrase she repeated over and over: "No one will ever love you like I do." At first, I thought it was sweet, but the older I got, the more it sounded like a warning. One day, I picked up my phone and found unsent text drafts that I hadn't written. They were messages to people I knew, but the tone was strange, as if someone was trying to start a fight or push them away. It took me a while to realize that my mom had been snooping and even creating messages on my phone. That discovery made my stomach drop. Later, one of my exes told me that my mother had pulled him aside and claimed I was secretly engaged to another man. He dumped me immediately, and when I confronted her, she cried and told me I was imagining things. She made it sound like I was paranoid, ungrateful, and cruel for doubting her. The problem was that everyone else believed her. To the outside world, she was the perfect single mom who sacrificed everything for her daughter. Family gatherings were always filled with people praising her for raising me on her own, talking about how strong and selfless she was. Anytime I hinted that she wasn't what she seemed, people brushed it off as teenage rebellion, or me being dramatic. When I was 19, I tried to move out. I thought if I just found my own space, I could finally breathe. She immediately broke down, sobbing and saying she would collapse without me there. She said her health couldn't handle it, that I was all she had, that if I left, she didn't know if she would survive. I was guilted into staying. Then the job interviews started slipping away. I'd apply, get called in, and then suddenly the opportunity would vanish. Later, I found out that someone had called from the shared house phone line, pretending to be me, giving a bad impression before I even had the chance to show up. That was the moment things started to click. The more I looked back, the more I realized how many opportunities had been sabotaged before they could even start. By the time I hit my mid-20s, the picture was clear. Not a single friendship, not a single relationship, not even a single job opportunity had escaped my mother's interference. Every single path I tried to take was quietly cut off before I could walk it. I started keeping a journal, writing down every incident, every suspicious moment, and every lie that didn't add up. Slowly, the pieces fell into place. This wasn't overprotectiveness or bad luck. It was deliberate. My mother had been working to keep me isolated, dependent, and tied to her since I was a child. Once that truth sank in, it was impossible to ignore. She didn't want me to have friends, love, or independence. She wanted me to belong only to her. The phrase she repeated my entire life, "No one will ever love you like I do," wasn't devotion. It was a trap. That was when I decided that my revenge wouldn't be yelling, screaming, or trying to prove myself to people who would never